Hey guys, remember last week when I finished the headliner? Well, maybe not so much. Alright, last week I finished up the headliner, but what it's come down to is I didn't have enough clips and it hasn't stuck down as well as I'd hoped, and yeah, it's just not as clean as it should be. So let's just get in here and I'll give you a look. So as you can see, it's still quite loose up the back here, which I showed you last week, but it's just sort of come loose most of the way around. It just needs a tidy up. I think I need to get the glue out and try for round two. Alright, that time it was much better. I've got heaps of clips on there. I basically filled the entire edge with clips, as you can see there. Inside, there's still a few wrinkles near the back. Again, I'm going to have to try and hit them with the heat gun. The roll cage will head through this section here anyway, so you're not going to see a lot of it. So I'll leave that set up, and now I've got to find something else to do. Alright, so while the headliner's drying, I'll leave that, and I actually noticed I've still got two wires here that aren't connected. I've started already pulling apart this heater box setup, so I have to find out where they're supposed to be plugged into and plug them in before I go too much further. Alright, now I've got all of the air venting system back in again. And now it's actually properly plumbed up with the rubber seals through the firewall and all the rest of it. That's all sorted. Next step is I might try and tackle that windscreen washer bottle. So the first thing I'm going to try that one of you guys, V4 Garage, actually recommended was to just heat up the plastic area and just see if I can basically deform it to make clearance. There have been other suggestions to cut and plastic weld, and that's another option that I will try, but I think the simplest option is often the best. That actually worked. It's not pretty, but it looks like it should still be watertight. That moved it enough, quick, easy. I didn't have to cut and plastic weld and then worry about the welds not holding or whatever. I had to trim a little bit on the indicator itself just to clear this bracket. Now it all fits. My next step is to try and work out how to get this washer bottle to actually function as a washer bottle again, because there is no washer motor with this washer bottle. Some of them I've seen have a washer motor that's mounted into the side of the bottle, but there isn't one on this one, and I never discovered it and everything I pulled apart from the car, so I've gone and bought myself a generic washer motor, and now I have to see if I can make this generic washer motor fit and work with this washer bottle. Alright, so I've got this little generic washer motor. I think the simplest method may actually be to mount it directly into the base of the tank. I think that's what it's designed to do, plug into the side of the tank, which means drilling a hole in the side of the tank. The best place I've seen for it is in the front here, and there's actually like a bit of a flat spot on the front corner of this washer bottle. It's down low, so it'll take water directly from the base of the washer bottle and then pump it up through. Alright, let's drill it and glue this thing in place. Alright, so I've got my washer motor, it's all mounted in, it's all set up nicely, so now I'll put some water in this and check and see if it works. If I can somehow connect up the motor and works. I've actually used this garden tubing. It's the right size. I had it lying around. Now I've just got to wire this up. I don't know where the original washer motor was. So any of you guys who have a mid-year 911, that doesn't have the washer motor mounted inside the tank in here. Can you tell me where it is so I can try and work out where the wires are and connect it up again? Alright, so as you saw, I made up an extra bracket here because normally this bolts on here and also bolts on underneath the headlight bucket on the front guard. And, that is nice and secure now. The next point I want to have a look at is this. I believe it might be a fuel expansion tank or something. I'm just going to put it out there to guys. Does anybody know, do I still need to run this? If I have to put it on here, I will. But if I can avoid it some other way, I will also do that. So yeah, let me know in the comments the alternatives. Looping this inlet and outlet tubes here, can I just loop them together? I'm guessing the main reason is mostly just to relieve pressure when you take the fuel cap off, and it sort of creates that suction. That's what I'm guessing it's for. Happy to be corrected, so let me know in the comments anyway, and we'll move on to the next thing. That was a bit of playing around on my back under the dash, putting the vent covers in, which I'd forgotten to put in before. And I pulled the old pedal set out because I'm going to now look at trying to fit up this pedal set and see what modifications I have to do to make it fit. So now I've got to stick it in the car and see roughly where I want this to sit to get the pedals in the right spot, which means I need to do a couple other things. All right, next thing to do if I want to work out pedal placement is I need to stick the steering wheel on. So I did actually go and buy one of these cheap Boss kits the other day. Let's see if I can get this to fit. All right, steering wheel on. So what's the last thing we need to do to work out pedal placement? Alright, so the last thing I need to work out pedal placement is I need some seats. And actually the other day I went and I bought these old Sparco race seats. They're a little bit tired and battered, but they're actually out of a 911, so they should bolt in without any dramas. And I'll probably be tidying them up anyway. So let's see how it bolts in. Alright, that's a good fit. I might actually lower the seat down to slightly lower rail holes because it feels like I'm sitting up a little bit too high in here at the moment. And even though these are supposed to bolt straight into this, the front two bolts do, but the rear two seem to be out of line by about 1 inch each. I just got to drill another hole in the rail. It's not a big issue to get them to fit properly, but overall I'm quite happy with the driving position at this stage. So now I need to put the pedals in and see how they all match up. After all that messing around with the seat adjustment, it doesn't look like I can actually lower the seats any more than they already are. I've still got plenty of headroom, even for a helmet. I've still got, for myself, about 80 mil. That looks like where I'm going to be sitting. So next bit is, looks like I might have to trim a little bit of the footwell here to get the master cylinders through. So I'm just going to measure that up and work out what I need to do. Alright, the seat fits. The pedals are going to require a bit more modification before they are perfect. That's probably a job for next week, is to actually cut and mount this pedal box. So I think that must mean it's time for Fun Facts with Mrs. Jeff.
Hi guys! Okay, did you know? After World War II, Ferdinand Porsche was imprisoned by the French for war crimes. Now, Ferry, who you'll remember is his son, he tried to raise enough money, and in fact he'd succeeded, by designing a Grand Prix car in Italy called the Cisitalia. Now, the Cisitalia was very complex for its time. It had a 1.5 litre flat 12 engine with twin superchargers, and it had this ingenious four-wheel drive system whereby the front wheels could actually be switched off during a race. However, unfortunately the project failed due to its astronomical cost, but luckily for Porsche fans around the world, Ferry did manage to get his father released from prison.
Alright guys, that's it for another week. This is probably the way I'm going to have to get used to it with Mrs. Jeff in the driving seat.
Absolutely.
I've just got a bunch more tinkering bits and pieces done this week, and at least the headline is in, so I can move forward on the rest of the interior.
Any suggestions or any facts that you might have that you think would be great to share, just let us know.
Yes, suggestions are welcome. Don't forget to check out my second channel, Home Built Home. There's a link in the description. And as always, please like and subscribe. And you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. All right, see you guys.